So first of all, I just gotta start off by always being thankful to God, um, because I could see how life could have gone with me and what I could have involved myself in ways that just make me look at myself in ways that's just embarrassing. Um, I also am thankful that I'm able to see what's happening to me, even though I have no control. I'm helpless in the sense that my brain is just manipulated and wired in ways that just makes no sense. But now my brain takes they've this technology has been this ability of just going deep in my thought process, and the ability to manipulate my brain is just going to get worse. And I truly one day maybe I do think that there'll be a day where I'll completely lose myself. But I gotta thank for this moment where I'm able to see things for what they are. Target individual, my videos are ways for me to vent, but also provide some testimonials, especially when I know that my brain is slowly fading away. That's why I make as many videos as I can. And also, it helps when you hear out loud the way your brain is being manipulated and the process of your brain. It's just, it's, it's, it just sounds even worse. In your own brain, the way things sound is just something else. When you hear that out loud, when you hear how my brain or how the brain is being altered and the ways of logic are supposed to be accepted in, it's worse. Meaning that it sounds so illogical, but my brain has been able to be manipulated to think this way in this and think this is logical, right? So I know there's a reality that they impose this retardation of reality onto your brain, and there is clowns paid to continuously make you believe that that makes sense, that's validation and this and that, and like trying to really create this ecosystem of just nonsensicalness so you can identify with this manipulation. I'm not a genius, but they've made me feel like a genius because what their job is to get you to accept these things. Everywhere you go, you'll have people of all sorts looking at their phone and looking, oh shit. I'm like, Jesus, I'm not gonna identify with this. Now, whatever's gonna happen to me, God give me strength because I've been provoking to these people. You understand? Their job is to make you accepting of this. I put that in their face 24/7, and I don't stop. So people whose job they understand that is I'm supposed to make this person believe this manipulation. I myself, of course, know the reality of things. I work on that. I'm the one reconstructing the brain, or not even reconstructing, participating in this manipulation. But my job is to do this. And he keeps bringing that in my face, making me feel kind of stupid. When obviously I'm not this stupid, but I have to be for this purpose, right? So I expect horrible things. I do. Because of how extreme I've been, how the provocation of me putting the reality of what they're in to their face 24/7. It's gonna be so bad for them to try to block out the reality because I've been putting it in their face. Can you imagine people who are currently living a life where reality is just something that cannot be real? They have to escape from reality. They have to create a false reality. So that's their job. They are literally tasked to create this reality. They start calling it our reality because they gotta stay in character to do these horrible things, because the truth is, the reality is what they're in, is they're using human beings as guinea pigs. They're doing these things to our bodies and our mind 24/7. But they also want to be feeling like they're normal people, like they're good people. They want to normalize what they're part of. So they're like really like living in this fantasy that they themselves created and try to be like, you see, that's not me, that's you. So for me, I gotta be thankful. And I gotta be thankful to be articulate enough right now to be able to express that. Because it's going away. I can feel it. It's getting worse. But before that point came, I was putting that in the face. I was putting that in the universe to make sure that this trash don't escape. And they're gonna get theirs one way or another. It's not for me. I'm not that person. I'm not even capable at this point. I'm being more fragilized than ever. My bones and everything is just slowly fading away. But I will not let this trash, in whatever shape and form they're coming in, to go into a fantasy. I will show them how much of a clowns they have become for the purpose of this program. Now, This is how I have to start things with. I gotta thank God for that. For me, able to articulate what I just said, because it's not gonna be easy to articulate more soon, especially as you can see, even speaking is getting harder and harder, and I know it's not gonna get better. Now, I also have to ask God to give me strength. Like I said, there's gonna be horrible things. I was looking at my leg. I'm like, oh my gosh, my leg looks deformed. My knees going one way. And I'm not, because I'm an athlete. That's not why it's happening. It's because they're doing things to my body to deform my body. Right? This is what this is all about. That's the reality of things. They're destroying my body and my mind is being manipulated in these horrible ways. But my body is also being destroyed, and when you see it, I'm like, Jesus, I've never, like, I'm not in sports anymore. Like, I haven't done sports in a long time. Like, it's just, my knees are shifting one way, my leg is shifting, and I was even cramping in ways. I was like, it's just doing this. That's my body just being destroyed. But that's what this program is really about. They are using these developing weapons, this weapon system, onto us to continuously develop and see what they can do to the body, and how they can do things, and the different ways they can weaponize this body, this weapon. That's reality. That is what is real. That's what is the truth. The rest is just facades, creations. They make themselves this retarded. They find ways to put things together to try to make you accept all this manipulation that they themselves work on. It's clear. So, for example, I got a chance to go outside a little bit. Listen, I know wherever I go, there's gonna be some nastiness happening. They're gonna manipulate my brain. They're gonna do these disgusting things. They're gonna rewire my brain, and then they're gonna try to gaslight me. And then you're gonna hear these clowns do whatever they need to do. Like I said, they're contracted clowns. What I mean by clowns is, they know obviously this is what they do to make me experience. They manipulate my brain. They know that. Their job as the clowns are called, as the contracted clowns, they're supposed to make me believe that I'm not. They were just not manipulating you. They come up with different terminology. We're mining, we're mapping, with this. No, they're making you experience these things. Then they try to gaslight you to accepting this. When you see them as the gaslighter that they are, they look like clowns, right? People like, you don't even respect yourself at this point. You can't. But you gotta be strong, because that's the job, and they're gonna stick to the script. If they can't do it, somebody else will come and do the job. So I was going outside, and people were doing the same thing. It's funny, at one point, before I go to this restaurant, we walk through some part, and this is when you hear the clowns being clowns that they are, and how to reconstruct the reality. This man child, I call him. He's like a child, and maybe an adult. It sounds like a young adult, but he's like still childish. They all have to be childish one way or another. That's why I call them clowns. And he's trying to say he was like busted, because they try to bring up this thing that happened yesterday, or what I observed that they try to change. I'm with somebody, and we're walking, and I see we're walking back somewhere that we were before, and now before that there's older individual, like 40 plus 50, and then there's like a younger group of people, like 2 or 3, like kids. They look like kids, especially one. And this is the one, I was looking at her, and I was like, is that a kid that is just trying to be seen? And the way she was dressed, you would think she's going out like in an event or something. That she got like, it's like she dressed the best, not best dress, but like going out clothing, but also trying to be revealing clothing, but something like that you go out with, right? Like you go out clothed, but go out like in a nightclub, not even nightclub, but in a place where you want to be like revealing of like your body a little bit. And I'm looking at her, she's just standing outside talking. I'm like, why, first of all, you dress like that when you're just hanging out like here? This is not your everyday. This is not like you chill outside, just chilling clothing. So it's obvious she went and she knows coming back, dressed up, and even the hair was done. You can see the everything. It's like, this is not like, you see the company, the older people just dress, relax. It's outside, it's hot out, just chill. Then you see this person, and I'm like, is she a kid? And I'm looking more and more. I'm like, oh my gosh, she is a teenage kid. She was just dressed like that to try to be. And for some reason, I gotta say that, I know my perception can be manipulated, but for some reason, this technology was not really too much applied on my brain. Because they could have made me look at this kid in a sexual way. They could have made me look at her in a way that's appealing. But they didn't. And I think the reason why is because they thought I was going to be confused and think that she's an adult. But she looked like she had a teenage, like, listen, the reason why I'm so descriptive of what's happening and how I perceive people is because my perceptions are being manipulated. It's not because I'm trying to judge the way she looks. I'm not here body shaming her. But this person looked like a teenager, right? She looked like a 16, 17-year-old. At least that's how physically she looked like. I could be wrong. That's what it looks like. And now they try to add some curve, try to make her more womanly in my brain and reconstruct it, change my perception of how I saw her. Thankfully, in real time, they didn't do that. I could see, I was like, this. And the closer I get, it's like, oh my gosh, she's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's like, ugh. Like, as a person, just like, I'm like, oh gosh, she look more like a kid the closer I get to her. That was in real time. Now, they're like, oh no, you were eyeing her, you wanted her. It's like, and then some trust came, it's like, oh, bastard, we busted. Now I try to change the perception, giving her some womanly feature that she didn't have, because most likely she's a teenage kid. So she looks like a teenage kid would normally look like a teenage body, right? Just, you know what I'm saying? But they try to create perception. And matter of fact, right now they try to give her like some, something that she didn't have. And she didn't have that. And they're like, oh, you're pervert. You just shut up. This little nothing will do nothing to me. They just want to gaslight you to accepting this. No, that's what you want. Oh, you pervert. She got a whole like dress, going out dressed to stand outside with just a group of people outside just chilling. And they really want you to accept that. It's like, you're pervert. Get you down, man. Sorry. And I'm not here to body shame anybody. Because let's just say if I'm wrong. I don't know. But that's what she looks like. And they really were trying to recreate it. In my brain, they try to give a little bit of more lump. I don't even know how to say this. They try to give more some shapes that she doesn't have. To hear a perp say, no, bastard, you're eyeing her, you're looking at her. It's like, yes, I was looking at her because I wanted to see if this is one of these kids that just post over there, chill there, try to be like seeing, so they can be like, oh, you see, that's proof. And I'm looking, it's like, yeah, this is a kid, because sometimes it is an adult, but in my brain, I don't know. So it takes me a while to kind of understand, see, is that a kid or not? That's how it goes. And I'm glad I did it. Because if I'd have done quickly like that, oh, the manipulation could have been crazy. But to closer I look at her, it's like, oh my gosh, she's a little small teenage, weak. Sorry. And I'm not saying weak in the sense that I'm not judging her in that fashion. But I'm understanding that these people want me to be like that. They want me they want me to think that this is what I'm into. That's what will interest me. Right? They truly are wanting you to be that person. They are clowns for living. They are human clowns for living. They play with the thought process, even as I'm speaking right now, and be like, oh, like clowns. So I go through that. This kid, this teenager, I'm giving her a teenager. I don't know if she's, I think 16, 17. That's what I'm thinking. Based on the physique of this person. She's like small, anyways. Go through the home, to go through the restaurants. There, now listen, I know who I am for real. I know my real perceptions. I know who would make me feel any reaction. I know who I am. I'm not perfect. My perversions, I know them for real. The real ones, not this manipulation that make me even have this little. I know that I can look at a woman in a sexual way. And I know that I can have reaction that way. I know who I am. And the majority of straight men will probably have that too. But I'm not going to identify by some trash working for these governmental entities filled pedophiles who try to make you accept this manipulation. And I'm going to get back to that. So I go into the restaurant. And I know there's little kids around. Oh, when it comes to little kids, they give me that sensation stimulation. It's like, no, we mapped it to you as a kid. They give me like a just weird sensory, sexual stimulation. Boom. It's just nasty. But I see, I'm sitting, my back is facing the group of family where there's kids and babies. Right? So what happens? They start bringing their kids to the restroom, which we're next to. When they bring the babies, just seeing their little heads, the little girls mostly, their little head, pew, stimulation, pew, pew. It's crazy stimulation and sexual stimulation and sensations. Ugh. And they're like, oh, we're mapped it as you. It's like, no, this is what you can make me have. You can have me have these reactions. You can have me have this stimulation. And this is what I always say. I know that the reality of what's happening to my brain is they're attacking my brain by making me have this reaction. It's a way to cognitively break me down. It's cognitive warfare. They do this pedophilia type of torture systematically to break people down. Then they use this clown to come like, now we mapped that you are pedo. Yeah, okay. Let me just get back before I get to that point. They do this. But then the mothers that are taking their kids to the bathroom, now I could see them in a sexual way. I'm not perfect. They're womanly. They're women. So I can have this perception for sure. I know it's kind of played with. They kind of playing with it a little bit, but I know that it won't take much for me to see these people and feel some kind of sexual perception, maybe a little perverse in that way. To look at this woman, that is something that clearly I could easily have that. So they would try to merge things and having the thought process. Like, listen, this woman, for sure, I can definitely imagine myself in the sexual perception with this woman. Of course, look at them. Most men would. And they're like voluptuous, they're women. And I'm not here to body shame anybody. What I'm saying is this is how they play with your thought process. They play with like your libido and sex in a way, and to traumatize you and rewire things in different ways. So that's why I'm so descriptive when I describe what's happening to my brain, because they apply these things to kids and then give you the sensation stimulation and be like, oh, well, man, you're a pedo. Nastiness. It's so nasty. But now my brain today is just, oh my gosh, so destroyed. I was watching this thing, right, and they're making noise campaign. I was watching this video, right, and this man, he was talking about this guy became a hitman, right, and he said, I don't know exactly the specific joke it was said, but he used to say some kind of joke like, this is a villain hitman or something, but he's like, he starts saying, this in jokes there's sometimes tells you who you are or something like that, because he always wanted to be a killer. He always wanted to be a hitman. So he was saying like jokes that sounded like he wanted to do that, right? Now, you gotta understand these Perps have no shame, right? This Perps are saying is bringing up this joke that I heard when I was in the cafeteria. It's not even a joke I created, I came up with. I remember being in the cafeteria, hearing this joke that made me like, it was so crazy. It was witty and shocking. It was like shock comedy. And I remember how this made me feel in the sense of like how crazy it was, how shocking it was. I am somebody who enjoy comedy that's kind of shocking comedy, right? I want to make you have a reaction. And this, when it was said in this cafeteria when I was a high schooler, I laughed in the sense like, oh, that's so crazy. And it has like a little bit of wordplay, but it was a very shocking voice, right? Listen, I'm not a sensitive kid or whatever. This thing that was said to me, I can listen to, I can watch this like dark humor comedy. There's this guy called Kill Tony. The jokes they say is just ridiculously disturbing, but it's shocking. You understand? The shock value and how it makes you react and just like, oh my gosh, right? So I remember that joke, thinking, oh, I want to do the same to somebody, create the same reaction to somebody, right? In that way, use this wordplay of shocking comedy and use that one day. And I did want to make fun of my best friend at the time, right? Now, because this is a joke that is very inappropriate in the sense that it's like shocking and it's obviously crazy, they use it as like, you see that joke? No, you meant it. It's you. In jokes, there's what people, like he said, just like this, because they're looking for something to make you acceptive of this manipulation. They want you to identify with these pedophilia things. So they look at, oh, this joke there. Okay, that joke. You see people, when they say jokes, it's them. They try to reveal themselves through the jokes. Oh, shut up. First of all, the joke is not even mine. It's not even something I came up with. The reason why I heard this joke, it was because I was in a cafeteria in high school. Then I remember how it made me react. I remember laughing. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. And me stealing a joke like that because I want to make that reaction applied on somebody else. Okay, this wordplay like that and this thing, I can do that to make fun of somebody like that. That's it. And so, of course, these people are trying to put things together in whatever way to make you accepting of these things. So, oh, your joke is funny. It's like, no, it's not funny for you. First of all, it was meant to. I ended up using it to roast my friend, to insult him, but in a friendly way. But this is how my brain has been rewired. That they take whatever they can, make you think in this logical, retarded way, and try to make you acceptive of the things that they make you experience today. Because but the joke that you heard in high school, laugh, and then used it to make fun. That's because you felt like you can relate. But I laugh about it because it was shocking. But it's not even. There's no point of wasting your energy trying to have this back and forth. These people they have a task. It's to make you identify with these pedophilia things. They have no shame. They want you to identify with this manipulation, this personality. That is their job. Now, reality check. They have no shame. These people are truly involved in a program where it's clear what this is about. They rewire the thought process. They change who you are. And then they want you to be accepting of this because this is the things they do. And this is why they have to be on this level of retardation. Because this...
It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind. But he thoughts of pedophilia. This disgusting things.
So for them, it's like, oh no, but you see that joke that was there. You see, because it's you. Because they do these things. They try to change you and change who you are, make you accepting of who you are, of who they want you to be. With the manipulation. You heard me just, they flip the word is supposed to be, it's called forced speech. It's supposed to frustrate me. They want you to accept this manipulation as if it's you. And it's non-stop. Because they do this pedophilia type of torture. It's validated they do this. It's not unique to me. It will never be unique to me because this is something that always works.
What is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including threat.
And because they do the pedophilia type of torture. But the thing that kills me, I remember when they were like, oh, this joke is so funny, ha 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 ha. Okay. So, me is this thing that I heard in high school, then say that to my friend to insult my friend, and the reality of what is ha ha a part of and who they work for is this. So for me, I'm like, you're a clown. Because thank you, God, that this level of validation is
has come under investigation for links to the proliferation of graphic material called Project Flickr. Some 5,000 individuals have been identified as having subscriptions to child porn sites, including many DoD-affiliated persons. So this ongoing national investigation has now prompted the House to introduce a bipartisan bill that would help the DoD stop the use of its network to, quote, possess, procure, or produce child pornography. Joining us to discuss this, investigative journalist Ben Swan. So Ben, the Pentagon already takes measures to limit worker access to stuff like porn by rolling out what they call the Personal Electronic Device PED policy, where workers have to drop off their phones and lockers before entering their offices. All their online searches are accessible by security if or when needed. Their Wi-Fi access is monitored in digital security sweeps. So how is this happening?
Well, it's happening because even though there is a certain amount of limitation on access, those who are working in the Department of Defense, clearly it appears to be thousands of individuals in the Department of Defense, are finding ways around this, specifically by using the Department of Defense IP addresses and also apparently peer-to-peer sharing within the department's network. So this study that was done on this issue, and it is pretty horrifying, Manila, to consider this. It shows that the Department of Defense ranked 19th 19th out of almost 3,000 networks in terms of peer-to-peer sharing of child pornography. That is absolutely incredible.
Now, what's happened to my body? It's not because I have neighbors who came up with super sophisticated technology and advanced technology. It's not this group of radical feminists in academia that have gone together and avenging and researching. It's because we're being used as test subject to develop this technology that can alter the mind, destroy the body, and do so much things very sophisticated. One may call it the 21st century new weapon system. Coming from the same entities that you hear that with this problem with child porn trafficking. Well, this trash is like, no, but that joke that do you understand the reality these people have to create? Do you understand the reality being in their face in this level, and they still have to be the clowns? That's why I call them clowns. Sometimes they come in when they use their voices. Now we're gonna kill you. Now that's you. We're dead. It's like when we know who's the pedos. Now my brain, let me just say that, it's gonna go with the logic that they've created. I understand. I'm not thinking logically anymore. I'm thinking like a mentally ill individual who's because my brain is being manipulated by people who are childlike trash. Working for governmental entities where pedophilia is such a problem. They're being ranked for being top tier child porn trafficking. These people working for these governmental entities with these issues.
Why are so many pedophiles allowed to be given top-level security clearance? Remember, these aren't just people walking in off the street and saying, hey, can I get hired, can I get a job? You're put through an extremely rigorous background.
Are utilizing this technology on me to develop this technology because, as this man describes it here,
citizens being controlled by government-sanctioned experiments. Is Cheryl Welch telling the truth, or are her claims absurd? Just another conspiracy theory that's impossible to prove. Maybe. But not if you listen to Nick Begich.
I think there's some good evidence that Cheryl Welch and many of the other people I've spoken with have been victimized by this electromagnetic mind control experiments. The weapons of this century aren't bombs and bullets and ordnance, but electromagnetic energy targeting the human being, which is the greatest revolution in military affairs since gunpowder.
Begich is an expert in government mind control. He is convinced the Pentagon has mastered a technology once thought to be science fiction. The ability to broadcast information directly into the human brain.
okay, the kind of information, the kind of things they do to my brain is to think in these illogical, retarded ways, to make me accepting of these manipulations that they can have me have because of this.
Other modification applications. The other was the effect on human beings. If you can modulate a signal that the brain locks onto, recognizes, and begins to mirror or follow the frequency-following response, the brain rhythms change, then it creates a chemical cascade within the brain, and the emotions change. Now the resolution gets finer and finer and finer. And it used to just to be about triggering emotions. You could change people's brain chemistry pretty readily, change their emotional state pretty easily. But when you get down to the idea of thoughts, that requires a different kind of sophistication.
So, easily can make you have these emotions, these reaction stimulations. Now, when it comes to thoughts, that's when I start doing like this, go deep in my thought process to try to make thoughts that can be logical for me to accept these reactions and for me to be acceptive of this persona and like, oh, we proved it because, you see that joke that you heard in the cafeteria, laugh like crazy? Me, who like to make people laugh or make people react in who try to find a witty thing, would use that to insult my friend to kind of, I know who I am. And then this trash like, now you'll scream. He's like, yes, I'll scream because you will do things to harm me. You are harming my mind, my thought process, and you're making me think in this retarded way. And the deflects tell me how I'm going to be screaming. I'm going to be, yes, I'll scream. I'll cry. I'll be in pain. this is what is the cause of what you're going to do to me. Just like the cause of me thinking this retarded way is because my brain is being manipulated this way. The cause of me getting this reaction is my brain being manipulated in these fashions. I already die in hell, and I will never let this low life live this fantasy as they talk about how they're going to frame me, which adds to the validation that, okay, well, you understand what it means. People who frame you, that's what they're going to do. They're going to rearrange your brain the way they need you to be thinking for them to all my target individuals, stay strong, see this low life for what they are. Today, we talk about emotions and reaction. There was this like thing about this kid that something happened to her. There's this picture. Now, the kid, you just see some kid in pain or something like that. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, like that. They give me stimulation. I don't know if you can see it. It's like somebody pulling somebody's hair. They give me stimulation, straight up. She's like, like that in pain. They try stimulation, try to make it like sexual in my head. It's like, oh God. Target individuals, stay strong and see things for what they are.